To you live from the Hawk's Nest. It's your boy DJ Thuvo, Mr. AKA I Don't Sleep. We got our guest today, Noah Archangel. Man, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you for bringing us over here today.
It's all good, man. It's all love. You know how we do, man.
Yeah. So, let's get into it. What do you feel like music has done to kind of inspire you? How has it changed your life? You look at all these little hip-hop movies and stuff like that, and they show you how music really changed them. And, we always talk a lot about how music has inspired you, but on the camera for our viewers, how has it?
I mean, at the end of the day, man, music is everything, man. Music is life for me. From the, music in like the Looney Tunes, to the music that's, in the background of a movie to, banging on the lunch table at elementary school or whatever, man. So like, music is everything, you know what I mean? There's not one day you go without listening to music. Like, put it simple, you know what I mean? And music is the only thing that simulates every part of the brain. Like, scientifically, once again, music is everything.
Yeah, what was that one, that one love song that you always put on for the shorties, growing up and stuff like that? What was that token song?
You know what, man? There was never one like that for me. I always just I played different stuff. I had a big brother, thank God, that put me on just different things. So, I was listening to records that no one knew about because they weren't like big or whatever. So I would just play whatever I normally would listen to that no one heard, and that would get everybody to be like, yo, what's this? Like, how you find out about this? Blah, blah, blah. So, that's always been me, man. It's not about going against the grain. I just always been myself. So, I very rarely listened to the radio, whenever I was a kid like that. It was more of just whatever my moms and pops was playing or my brother was playing and shit like that,
Now the music scene, it's made, some would say it's taken a nosedive, others would say that it's just a shift. Where do you feel like it is, through your eyes?
I mean, it's both. I mean, we're able to do whatever we want nowadays, which is cool. We don't really need a label, but at the same time, there's so many of us. So it's hard to go, to sift through what's worth listening to and what's not. Crazy fact, I was just thinking about this before you got here, actually, was everyone can listen to your music for free nowadays, basically, and yet it's still like, pulling teeth to get them to listen to it, saying it doesn't cost them anything but maybe 3 minutes or whatever. Or, if they listen to a whole record, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, but it's like, you ain't got to do nothing but pull up your phone, your Google Play, your Spotify, whatever it is, you can listen to it for free. And yet you still are like, I don't want to listen to, I want to listen to, this guy 100 times or whatever. And more power to this guy. I'm just saying, like, that's the problem with it now,
Yeah, but that's got to be frustrating, as an artist. It seems like you're throwing music in their lap and it's good music just because some of the samples that you may have used or just some of the styles that you may have, put together into it. But it's still that risky shift of getting people to jump on your bandwagon prior to it being, a big name brand.
Right.
And what is that process like for you as an artist?
It's hard. I mean, but at the same time, and it's still been the same since the last 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, whatever. Like, an artist, we have to, make our presence felt. Everybody can put out a record. Everybody can, make a beat. Hell, man, 6-year-olds are making beats that are dope now. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like how it used to be when I used to be on the MPC over here or something. So it's like, you got to make your presence felt. It's not just about making good music. I think it's about, being an artist. You know what I mean? And being good, getting out there, talking to the people, performing for the people. You know what I mean? I slacking on that myself. Now we got social media. People can actually look into your life every day. Being active on that or whatever. So it's frustrating, but at the same time, if this is really what you do, then it's not something that really, concerns you. Like, it doesn't concern me who's listening to me or not. Like, I know I make my money. People give me little props here and there, whatever, but I do this because I want to do it. This is what I want to do. Like, I'm not gonna switch up and make something that everyone wants to listen to or whatever just because I want the people to listen to me. You know what I mean? That's not the kind of artist I am, and I think most artists understand that. Like, I would be doing this regardless if I was like emptying trash cans out of school or not. So if you listen to me or not, either way, this is what I'm gonna be doing.
You decide which hat you're gonna put on.
I mean, there's no hat, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Like, there's no rules. That's why hip hop is so beautiful and music is so beautiful. Like, why do I have to be, one label. You know what I mean? Like, I started rapping whenever I was going to raves back in the day, and because I couldn't find beats to rap to, because I didn't know a lot of producers back then. People were still having to spend $2,000 to make a beat. We're getting a beat machine or whatever. We didn't have computers yet, like that. We had them. It wasn't big like it is now. So once I learned how to start making beats for myself, from the PlayStation to the, 202 to the MPC and the EMU, whatever. Then it was like I like doing that better. You know what I mean? I started doing that, and then I did both, and then. You start having to shoot videos because you can't afford to pay the, it's whatever. Like, artists are artists, man. There's, a painter can do more than paint. You know what I'm saying? You can't, you're not gonna, if he was, Basquiat was still here, you're not gonna go to Basquiat and be like, oh man, you know how to sculpt too? What hat are you gonna wear? Sit down and pay attention. You'll see how dope we are. You know what I mean? But, there's no hat, man. I do whatever I want, man. That's the whole point of being an artist. Like, I didn't want to work for this guy over here. I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Now I see the Hawk back there, and you know, and I've also been seeing a lot of stuff online. How did you guys come up with the name Band of the Hawk? And what does that symbolize for you? And what role do you play in as a Band of the Hawk member?
Band of the Hawk, man. First of all, we used to be called HTX, Houston, Texas Unknown. It was just me and King, who's now Your Majesty, and that was from like 06 to 2010. And then I watch a lot of anime. I like cartoons a lot, you know what I mean? And I watched an anime called Berserk, and there's like this mercenary company that's like they're real young, and they're called the Band of the Hawk. And the two leader dudes of it were really dope. They reminded me of myself and King, so we were like, we're going to change the name to the Band of the Hawks. So we did that in like 2010, and then I kind of stepped away from music for a little bit just because personal reasons. And then when I came back, when I lived in Dallas, trademarked the name and was like, Band of the Hawks. We just changed the word death to Def, DF. You know what I mean? Like, we're the mercenary company that was deaf on the battlefield. Like, everybody's dope, everybody's got skills. But we got 4 or 5 producers. We got like 4 or 5 producers. We got musicians. We got singers, rappers, whatever. I got a rock group in Vermont that's part of it. Like, it's a collective, man. You know what I mean? Like, we wanted to I wanted people that wanted to create, and I wanted them to be free without having to worry about sales or conformity or anything like that, man. So Band of the Hawk is just us being free, doing our thing, man. You never know if it's just gonna be me and King, or if it's gonna be like 10 cats or 12 cats. You know what I mean? You never know. So you always just want to tune in.
Okay. And I'm loving how you guys are kind of putting together. I've been following, the Bow Up album, and I saw that it did well, and I saw that you guys just recently released Black Lotus and then Pyramids. So is Black Lotus and Pyramids, is that gearing up towards another album that you're going to be releasing, or is there going to be another Machine Wars?
Yeah, man. That's a loaded question, but Pyramids is from the hashtag Bow Up record. You know what I mean? That was what's our 3rd single, I think. It's just from the hashtag Bow Up record. If you haven't listened to that, go listen to that. And then Black Lotus, which you're on actually. So, I don't know how the hell that happened. Anyway,
Me neither, because I'm not a rapper.
Yeah, we just love his love. Creatives, like I said, when we create. Black Lotus is the first single from my next record, the Machine Wars Songs of Solomon. I drop a Machine Wars every year. It's mainly beats, and just, rhythms and stuff like that. And then I always have a few features of people that I want to kind of bring on board to the Hawks to kind of introduce them to everybody.
How do you come up with the names, for some of your albums and some of your music when you're putting together the track list?
Usually, man, we already had that figured out before we go in. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of us kind of, we're all hip-hop heads, man. We all listen to, like, classic joints, like Look Around the Hawk's Nest, man. Like, the whole point of being in here is so that way you remember, like, who came before you and know that you got to be better. So usually we already have the idea and theme of something before we even go in and start working on it. So that way we know what mindset we're in. You know what I mean? I know with me, Machine Wars, it's simple because I went from the MPC 2000 beat machine to the Machine, you see behind me. And so, like, I started the Machine Wars just to let everybody know, like, I could still do this dope beat making joints with the Machine. But, of course, like I said, my name's No Archangel, man. I've always been a big theology kind of person. I'm not religious, but I like mythology and theology and stuff like that. So, I always kind of keep it somewhat close to like that kind of theme when I do my record.
Where does the inspiration come when you're putting together the verses?
I mean, this is hip hop, man. I don't know. It's a loaded question, man. It's like at the end of the day.
Well, because everybody's got their own way of
oh, okay, I get you, but I don't. No, that's all I love, man. I mean, we kind of, I'm not saying we freestyle it, but we do. I have, I may start a track, I may, have a beat or something I want to rhyme to. I'll start a track and then I'm gonna send it to the Hawks, 13 people on the email list, and then, somebody's gonna be like, yo, I got something for that, or I'm messing with that or whatever, and then it's it just keeps building and building and building until we're done, and then we're done and we move forward. But I mean, I couldn't speak for everybody else, but I could in a way because I'm here with them when they're doing their magic. It's like just comes from the heart, man. I just ain't no, I gotta make records for kids or I gotta make bubblegum rap so I can make a lot of money, man. It's just like we wanna rhyme, man. This beats rhymes of life, man. I don't really understand like where hip hop is not that. Like if I don't get it. Like, that's not hip-hop. When anybody that's doing all that bumping, that's not hip-hop, man. That's just pop. It's cool, but hip-hop is from the heart, man. It's really that simple. You come in, you do your rhymes and keep it moving.
How do you feel like your music, suits off? Do you feel like it's really taken off the most out here in Houston, or do you feel like it would do better, or it has been doing better in other states?
All those. We're doing better in Texas now, period, just because we're making our presence known. Like I said, you got to do that's your part as an artist. But at first, we were just internet-based, and I was living in Dallas, and most of the Hawks were here in Houston. Everything was internet-based, so most of my biggest fans were actually from Cali. A lot of Cali, and then a lot of New York and Japan. Japan and Germany, they love hip-hop, man. So, like, a lot of them. So, like, we need to just go there, man. We can get our money up, and then maybe Houston will take us back, but we're just getting there now with Texas though. But that was our fault. Like Texas is different in a way. The South is different. The South is different in a way where it's like you gotta make your presence felt. You just can't drop some dope stuff and then expect everybody to jump on it. Everybody here is dope. You know what I mean? And there's a whole different culture out here with the music too, man. Like hence the hashtag New Houston is we're trying to recreate a Houston vibe here that Screw left. I think that was the last big thing we had. Even though people say that they I love Paul Wall and all them, they were dope. You know what I mean? But they still were kind of riding off that Screw era type thing. Screw was the last like original thing we had here in Houston. So I'm trying to make an original sound and an original idea for Houston and Texas in general, and that's what the Band of the Hawk is trying to do. Because at the end of the day, man, the records are out there, the music's out there, whatever, but the presence still isn't felt enough. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, I don't really want to be like completely famous or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really cool with being on a level where I can just make, I was making 6 figures at my corporation, so like I just want to keep making 6 figures, with this music, which is good. I'm cool doing that, but I need to be able to do that for all the rest of the Hawks, not just myself. You know what I mean? So we're almost there though, man. I think maybe another year will be where I want to be, but I think it's gonna take maybe a couple more really to get that notoriety. You know what I mean? Because you really want it to be where I want it to be, where when we come to your city, man, it's like a big deal. I want respect, so I want my Rock Marciano, I want Big Daddy Kane and Snoop Dogg and Jay-Z to come to shout me out, be like, yeah, Band of the Hawk are doing their thing. You know what I mean? That to me would be way more dope than the money. I don't care if I got dope. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about money. I'm more worried about respect. So that way I can do this for another 20, 30 years and feed kids and have generational wealth. You know what I mean? So.
And the process overall to be a producer, to build the label, to lead and everything and stuff like that, does it ever get frustrating for you? Do you ever get, do you ever feel like, what am I doing and where do I,
of course,
and reevaluate yourself? And if so, how do you remotivate yourself to keep going?
First of all artists go through that, man. I mean, you're always going to get frustrated and you're always going to wonder what it is. But me personally, I motivate myself through that because I just like doing music. So, you know what I'm saying? Live at 5, man. I'm live at 5 on the day of Fry every week. You know what I'm saying? 5 and 9. You know what I mean? So, KRXM Radio, baby. You know, DJ Thruvo, shout out to you, man. All love. And anybody watching this, you know what I'm saying? Besides bandoftheheart.com, check out the music or whatever, man. I'm on KRXM Radio.
Just Google them. That's the thing that we don't do as people and consumers. We don't take the time to check for people and their music. And that's one of the things that artists depend on you to do. They need that support and stuff like that, because you're supporting some of these artists who don't even know who you are. When you support an independent artist, they're going to take the time to thank you. They're going to take the time to reach out and support what you have.
Reply to comments. We're going to make sure, you know, we in your city, you coming in the show for free, you know what I'm saying, all that, man, because without you, it's love, right? It's love, man, you know what I mean? Don't ever forget that.
You know, nor your moms. Inside the Beats, your boy DJ Thruvo. Y'all have a good one.
Go up.